Hey, what's up, you guys? Happy Saturday. Welcome to First and 10 NFL New York Jets podcast, episode 4. You guys ready to go? I am. How you doing, my friend?
I'm good. I'm ready to rock. I even brought my mug. There you go. Nice.
Now we're rolling in style here.
Yeah. We will be raging today. We'll have a lot to say.
Oh, I'm ready to rage.
We'll have a lot to say about the Sam Darnold trade, about what we think is going to happen in the draft. And
do you know how much this pissed me off that they got rid of him?
Tell me
that they got rid of him.
Okay.
Holy crap. First of all, you went and promised the guy's parents that you were going to surround them with talent. You were going to protect them. You were going to take care of them. What did you do? You shipped them off to Carolina for 3 picks, a sixth round this year, a second, and a fourth next year.
Yep.
Okay.
That is correct.
Yeah. So, and now you're going to do the same thing. Now you're going to do. What are you going to go pick Wilson now?
Mm-hmm. That's what it sounds like. That's what everyone. The consensus is Zach Wilson's the guy. He's the man. They're not concerned about his shoulder injury. They're not.
Oh yeah. Did you hear the thing where Schefter texted him and said, "Welcome to New York"?
Yeah, I think that was more to get to see if Zach would take the bait and bite. I don't think What I'm worried about is I heard Mark Schlereth say it today that people think because you draft a quarterback, the problem is solved. Jet fans are all enamored with, we're getting a quarterback. We're getting a quarterback.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let me tell you, I compiled a little list here.
Oh, very nice. Cool. I can't wait. Let's hear.
Starting when Namath, who was actually the first free agent, went to the Rams. Remember when he went to the Rams?
Yeah, 76.
And
was that 76? I believe. Yep.
Yeah.
Because that's the year we drafted Richard Todd with the number 6 pick in the first round.
Richard Todd, Ken O'Brien, Bubby Brister, Browning Nagel, Glenn Foley. Okay, now I have there's 3 actually I have asterisks for because we actually had some success with them. Testaverde, Pennington, Sanchez.
Okay.
But then we got Browning Nagel, we got Brett Favre, we got Bryce Petty, we have Geno Smith, we have Christian Hackenberg.
Yep. Yep.
We have Fitz.
Yes.
We have Kellen Clemens.
Oh, see, I forgot him. That's right.
Kellen Clemens.
So just to tell people, just in case they don't know, Christian Hackenberg was a 2nd-round pick in 2016. Geno Smith was a 2nd-round pick in 2013. Brownie Nagel was a 2nd-round pick in 1991. Bryce Petty, 4th-round pick in 2015. Hackenberg, 7th-round pick in 2011. We draft more.
And we go round and round and round and round.
Yes. And these are the guys that weren't highly touted. They were 2nd, 3rd. Forget the first rounders. Now we can get into the first rounders. You touched on Richard Todd, 1976, 6th pick overall. Let me just tell you Todd's numbers because everyone is killing Darnold. Todd had way more help than Darnold.
Sure.
Now, 76, I was a little young. I don't know how highly touted Todd came out of college, if he was the be-all, end-all, like Darnold was supposedly.
Yep.
Todd finished with a 67.6 quarterback rating, okay? He threw, did I write this down right? Hold on, let me see. 124 touchdowns and 161 interceptions in his career as a Jet. Okay, but we had some success.
How many in the AFC Championship in Miami, too?
Exactly. But we had some success with Todd because the foundation around him was different. Walt Michaels wasn't a great coach. He might have been down as a decent Jet coach, but he wasn't
Oh, you know who I forgot? You know who I forgot? Esiason.
Yes, who I couldn't stand. Yeah, but you're right. Esiason too. We needed that game against Houston, that final game, Sunday Night Football, and the whole team. I remember that.
Because you saying Walt Michaels made me think of Joe Walton, which made me then think of Bruce Coslett.
Yeah. Yep. You know what? You got to probably put a little asterisk near Ken O'Brien, because the knock on Ken was that we didn't take Marino. Because if you look at it, O'Brien's numbers weren't bad. He threw for 124 touchdown passes, 95 interceptions. He went to 2 Pro Bowls. His quarterback rating was an 80.4, and he threw close to 25,000 yards.
Listen, my favorite play was that fly pattern to Wesley Walker. So that he threw all the time.
Miami, right?
Remember that game? Remember that game?
Yep. That was one of the highlights. Like when you look him up, that's one of his highlights.
And I actually have a football card. I can't remember what year it was from, but I have a football card that has Montana and O'Brien as the NFL's top passers.
Wow.
So
yeah. I mean, I just go over some of the numbers. Chad Pennington, who had success, like you said, 102 touchdowns, 64 interceptions, 90.1 passer rating. The kid had a great passer rating. Sanchez had 86 touchdowns, 89 interceptions. And this was a man who had success the first 2 years.
2 AFC championships.
Yeah, when we were the number 1 and I think the number 3 ranked defense those 2 years.
Yes.
You know? And then everyone, let's kill Sam. But Sam, with nothing, threw 45 touchdown passes in 3 years with nothing.
Running for his life half the time.
Exactly. So if you, and I understand the interceptions 39, but if we just take the touchdown scale and we add another 3 years to it, that's another 90. That's now he's 90 touchdown passes in 6 years.
This was a big mistake, in my opinion. A big mistake.
I agree. But as a Jet fan, I have to say, all right, he's gone.
Yeah, we got to move on, right? We're used to doing that, aren't we?
No, exactly. But this is the one kid. I have my Sunday package, and I will be watching the Panthers game.
Oh, absolutely.
When I'm not watching the Jets, because this was a class act. This kid never said anything. And what I hate now is now that the trade is done, now we're hearing there were 8 teams that approached Joe Douglas in February before free agency to sign this kid, but Douglas wasn't unsure. He was unsure.
Didn't know what he was. What does that tell you?
That scare you, Kev. That's got to scare the bejesus out of you. You're
absolutely.
So another one, and I don't want to hear, because he says it in the article, well, we couldn't see him during game. You had game film. You don't tell. I know you didn't get to see him live, but you probably saw enough game film that by February or March, you should have known.
Absolutely.
You should have known. Watching him throw in shorts and a T-shirt is not supposed to. It's supposed to solidify what you already knew, not go there and say, all right, yeah, he's our guy now.
And when I heard what Douglas said the other day, it pissed me off even more, saying how, if we had a lower pick, we wouldn't be having this conversation right now. Well, exactly. either Sam's no good or he is good.
Exactly. What does that even mean?
That's one of the stupidest things I've ever heard coming from a GM.
Yeah, I would love for it to come out on how the room was divided, who, what, and why. You know, like I said, I read the Albert Breer article. It's very long. It's a good article. But me personally, I walked away as that the room was divided, and Joe Douglas said, well, if it's divided and you're putting it on me as the GM, I'm going to reset the clock. And if I'm going to sink this ship, I'm going to sink it with my quarterback.
And he even hinted that it was a financial decision.
Yeah.
Well, that's how you run your football team. How about the best players?
Yeah. And I heard, and I don't know how true this is, because I forgot where I heard it, and I didn't hear it from many, that more teams called about Sam than they called about moving up to 2.
Sure. The guy's 23 years old.
But doesn't that say a lot? The fact that everyone keeps knocking Sam, but more people wanted Sam than they wanted the Fields, the Wilsons, the Lance, the Joneses.
Sure. Who knows what these guys are going to be? It's a roll of the dice. You know, I mean,
and I'll tell you, at this point, I want Fields. I want Fields.
Over,
I know we're not going to get Fields.
And you know, Wilson's pro day, everybody was so enamored because he rolled out to his left and he threw across his body across the field. And well, I think I sent it to you. There's clips of Sam doing the same exact thing. Oh, yeah. And everybody's like, oh my God, you don't see throws like that. Well, sure I do. I watch Darnold.
Yeah. And you know what I love now? Ever since then, all these football shows, TV, that's the only play they'll show. They'll show that one. The one where he ran like 100 yards with Buffalo and he made that throw after running up and down the field to get away. Now they want to show these things. And
they make a big deal. Well, he didn't bounce any balls into the turf. Well, holy crap, he's not supposed to.
No, exactly.
He's sitting there in perfect conditions. There's guys running patterns. There's nobody coming at him. There's nothing.
Agree. It's beating a dead horse. We've been talking about this since our first show till now.
Yeah, but it finally happened and it pissed me off.
Yeah.
Because I see the same thing happening again.
Well, just look at like if you're a Jet fan, you can't be happy with all these names we just read off.
No, it's insane.
And here's another stat for you. Wait, let me find the blah blah. Oh man, I just had it and now I lost it. The Jets are going to be one of 5 teams since 1967 to pick a quarterback in the first round for the 6th time. One of 5 teams. Tennessee did it, Cincinnati did it, Indianapolis did it, and Cleveland.
And let me tell you, I'm sure this list, I'm sure we're forgetting somebody. Okay, I'm sure there's somebody on this list we're leaving out. Just what I have here, I'm counting 18 QBs. 18.
Yeah.
18.
And we're not talking about some of the names that we don't know. Like, who's the kid who's supposedly going back? This Morgan, the kid we drafted last year. That's another quarterback we drafted, you know?
Where is he?
Yeah, who knows?
Practice squad? Where is he?
Exactly. Well, they brought in Brian Hoyer this week. I don't know how that
Yeah, I know. I saw it. Yep. Like I said to you, yippee.
Yeah. But here's what I'm hearing. I'm hearing that Zach Wilson might not be ready day one because he doesn't have snaps. So then why did you trade him? What?
Why not keep Sam? Draft Wilson if you want to draft him. Let him sit. Let him sit behind Sam for a year. Okay? If Sam blows it out of the water this year, well, then you got a good situation on your hands, right?
Yeah.
I mean, maybe you could do something with Wilson.
Yeah. The problem is, if I remember right, Joe D did express that he didn't want to put that on.
I know the locker room and the coaching staff.
Put that in the locker room on the coaching staff. You know.
Well, who's the boss? Who's the boss? The coaches and the GM or the players? You know, if I go get a job somewhere, I may not like the people I'm working with, but I still got to work with them because the boss says so.
Exactly.
I mean, you know, let's stop treating these players like divas. You know?
No, I know.
No, that bothers me too. I'm angry today.
Yeah, no, I hear. I just
must be my mug.
Yeah, it must be the rage. I just don't understand how it took that pro day to make the decision. No, the decisions had to be made back in February so that when you go to the pro day, it just validates what you knew about this kid. The fact that you were still up in the air on your decisions going into a pro day, which we all know means nothing. Nothing.
Doesn't mean a thing.
And you know, I'm also tired of Jet Nation saying, well, we got 21 picks in the next 2 years.
Oh, big deal. Big deal.
All right. So let's talk about that. Now, this is just between me and you discussing, and hopefully some people will comment and let us know. This year we have 10 picks, 10 draft picks. In your head, this is just your opinion, and I'll tell you mine. How many does Joe D have to hit on to this be a successful draft and us building towards being a dominant football team for years to come? He's got
you got to hit on at least 50 to 75% of them.
Thank you.
I mean, you're not. I mean, I know you're not going to hit on every one, but you have to get that higher percentage up there.
So if in Joe D we trust, like everyone keeps saying, and I get it. Everyone's enamored right now because 21 picks. It's true. As Jet fans, we've never had that. We had 6.
Okay.
We never know how to manipulate the board. So that I give him credit for.
We never knew how to pick either.
No, exactly. But let me tell you something, Kev. My thinking is he's got 10 picks this year. 5 of them have to be starting opening day.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Mm-hmm. 2 of them have to have the potential by halfway through the season, they're ready to come in and take over these jobs. And then the other 3 are going to probably be busts. It's the way of the world. You know,
right.
70% he's got to hit on for me to say, in Joe D, I trust.
And can we see some star quality in some of these players? Your picks never come in and make that impact. Like, holy crap, look at this dude.
Yeah.
I mean, who's the last guy, like defense-wise? Who's the last guy we had like that? Abraham, like rushing the passer?
Yes, but
Revis in the backfield?
Yes, but you know what? Abraham and Revis came into the draft with a name. Like, you look at some of the Baltimore Ravens and even now the Cleveland Browns, you're hearing names that you're like, where was this guy? I never even heard of him in the draft. That's what builds your foundation. It's the skills. It's not the household name.
We need a lot of Bart Scotts is what we need. I loved Bart Scott.
How about Jim Leonard? Everyone forgets Jim Leonard on those 2 teams because there was no fanfare when he came in.
Talk about a great secondary guy.
Yeah. Talk about a dog, the man who could play and hit you.
That's right.
We need a couple of Jim Leonards in this draft.
That's right. You got it.
I'm tired of the household names. We've had enough household names.
Well,
we had an all-star of Jets on this team at one point that we couldn't coach them up right and went elsewhere and became names.
That happens to everybody that leaves here. They go and they have success. Watch in Carolina. Watch what Sam's going to do.
They're already saying it. So let's talk about Carolina.
And you want to know something even funnier before you get to that?
Go ahead.
Who's our last game of the season and where is it?
It's supposed to be the Eagles at Philadelphia.
Well, okay, but on the regular schedule before they added it, it was Carolina.
Oh, was it? Because I didn't
Carolina.
Okay, because I didn't think that the weekly schedule was made out yet. I know the teams were picked, so
I just saw they showed it like they had the graphic with the teams listed. Okay, and they just showed it as the last game. Whether it is the last game or not, I don't know, but it's in Carolina. How much fun is he going to have that day?
The NFL is going to do everything they can because that's what makes them so great. I think that will be a Thursday night game somewhere. That would.
They're going to flex it. They're going to flex it.
They're going to do something to get that in. But anyway, you're talking about Carolina. Donald is going to go now, all right, and he's going to throw the ball to DJ Moore and Robbie Anderson. All right, now maybe to some DJ Moore's not a household name. Robbie Anderson, not yet. We only know everyone knows him because he was a Jet. But let me give you their numbers last year. Robbie Anderson, 95 catches, over 1,000 yards, 12.5 yards a catch. Who did that on the Jets this year? DJ Moore, 66 catches, over almost 1,200 yards, 18.1 average a catch.
That was with Bridgewater throwing to him, right? Yeah. Okay. So.
And an offensive line that was better than ours. Not much, but better than ours.
Well, that doesn't take much to be better than ours. So,
again, when you have this is who he's going to be throwing to. Who's our Richie Anderson? I like Crowder, but and listen, I know we just drafted 2 wide receivers in free agency, but we need another one in this draft. We need another big wide receiver in this draft.
We don't have a stud. We don't have a Terrell Owens.
No.
We don't have a Randy Moss.
No.
Do you know what I'm saying? And that's what We haven't had that since Tune and Walker, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I'll agree with you. They were, but you know, the Santoni, Holmes, Kotri, Braille, and Edwards trio wasn't bad. You know,
right? Yeah, I agree.
No,
I agree.
I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying. I know.
But they never had. We never had the ones that defenses feared. Defenses feared Moss. Defensive. I mean, in their prime, defenses feared Owens.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, these were big, strong guys that would muscle you out for the ball. And
you're right. You game plan for those guys.
That's right.
For on the Jets, maybe Corey Davis now. Hopefully.
I did watch. I've been watching film of him with Tennessee, and
he could play.
And man, some of the catches he made were unreal. Whether it was Mariota throwing to him or Tannehill, it was insane.
Yeah.
So,
but again, if our quarterback, whoever that may be, is running for his life,
it doesn't
matter because we still have.
It doesn't matter.
Who do we just sign? Hold on. Let me go back to my notes. We just signed Corey Levin, another B player, another filling guy.
That's what I'm talking about.
Again, with so now we have 17 filling guys, and there's still Swiss cheese offensive line.
Yeah, so I don't know. I would have. How nice would it have been to see Sewell standing, Sewell and Becton in front of Darnold?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I know I keep going back to Sam, and I can't because it's a done deal, but it just I can't even tell you how much this pissed me off this week.
I know. Listen, I go through my Jekyll and Hyde moments. Like I'm pissed, I'm living with it. I'm pissed, I'm living with it. You know.
You're right. Yeah. Well, I mean, I got to start getting to the living with it part again because that's the way it is.
I just get more aggravated, and I have to stay off these community jet boards because the hate for Sam Darnold is just. I don't
get it. You should hate the coaching staff that he's had for the last 3 years.
Yeah, you know, everyone. I mean, you got to understand that. Yeah, he throws interceptions. I get it, but I think a lot of them had to do with him trying to turn nothing into something because he knew everything was on his shoulders. He tried to make more out of a play than what it should be.
Okay. Remember what he looked like at the end of his rookie year? We were talking about it last week. How he looked like Tarkington against the Texans, and J.J. Watt came up to him, and Aaron Rodgers came up to him after the Packers and everything. I mean, and then now it's like you think he stinks. I don't get it, to the point where you got rid of him for 3 picks. And I mean, we kept saying we weren't going to get more than a third. You wound up getting 3. You wound up getting a 6th, a 2nd, and a 4th.
Yeah.
So obviously Carolina thought he was worth something, right?
Well, let me tell you, and now we know that Matt Rule should have been the coach 3 years ago instead of Gase, because whatever him and Sam, and Matt Rule said what he liked about Sam. But whatever him and Sam spoke about during that meeting or whatever it was, stuck with Matt Rule, because when Darnold became available,
boom, let me have him.
Yeah. And according to what I'm hearing, the Panthers were there from day one doing their best work to try to get Sam away from Joe Douglas. And finally, Joe Douglas said, all right, this is your offer, we'll take it because I'm another route.
And I'm sure Robbie was down there lobbying for Sam Anderson.
I hope so. I saw Robbie on one of these talk shows, and he's just like bland. Like he was no excitement in his voice. I'm hoping he's pumped. I wanted to hear him say, "I'm glad Sam's here. He's our guy. We're gonna." I always thought they were buds. I thought so too, but watching, and maybe that's just Robbie's personality. I don't know him. His monotone, everything he was just bland in this interview. Like didn't seem hyped. Didn't seem
talking about Sam coming there.
Well, yeah, he was like, "Oh, I'm glad he's here." Like he didn't say like, "Yeah, Sam's back." Me and him had this.
I'm looking forward to it. Blah blah blah. Yeah.
Now maybe he doesn't want to put pressure on the kid because he's felt enough of it. So I don't know. So I'm not.
I don't know. I just saw that video of Sam when he went to his house there, and they had all blue and black balloons and everything. He was grinning from ear to ear.
Can you blame him? That kid for 3 years took a beating from everyone. Everyone. And he kept his mouth shut. He always blamed himself, took it on as a team leader. I have to do this. Never pointed fingers. Character guy. Let's run him out of town.
And my point before was, as good as he looked at the end of his rookie year, under Gase, Gase had him seeing ghosts.
Yeah. I know.
I mean, he was running for his life so much, and he was they would get so out coached. And that's why he was seeing ghosts, because he didn't know where the defense was coming from.
Well, it just shows you, was it last year or was it this year? The Jets scored touchdowns on their opening drives, I believe 7 or 8 times in a row, and then nothing. Why? Because the other teams made the changes, and we never made
adjustments.
We never.
It's the same reason we'd be ahead in the first half or something, and then we'd come out in the second half, couldn't score a point. Couldn't score a point.
I forgot what Jet player it was. It might have been Jamal Adams. When we played Cleveland and Tyrell, whatever his name was, got hurt, and they brought in Mayfield. And at the end of the game, I believe it was Adams who said,
Pryor. Pryor?
No, we played Cleveland. Tyrod Taylor got hurt. They brought
Tyrod Taylor, yeah.
First time Mayfield came in, he made that comeback. They beat us
and they won the game. Yep.
And Adams said, we never made the adjustments for
I remember that.
We never game planned for what this kid did. We never sat on the sidelines and said, if he does this, try this. How do you not do that? How do you not make in-game changes? Every good coach does that.
That was the QB whisperer. That was the offensive genius.
Oh, my Lord.
Don't you understand?
From 2018 to 2013, not one first rounder is on this team.
They've either, some of them probably aren't even in the NFL.
Well, I'm going to tell you who. D. Milner's the only one. Richardson, Seattle, right? Or is he with Cleveland now? No, he's with Seattle, I believe. Pryor, Calvin Pryor was with the Browns. He's no longer in the league. Leonard Williams, Giants. Darrell Lee, is he still with the Chiefs?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
And then Adam, Seattle, Sam to the Panthers. But can you imagine if you kept 6 of these guys?
And
and I understand it'll be hard to pay them all.
And how many of those guys did they tout as the next coming at their position?
Every one of them. Every one of them. The Louisville Slugger, Pryor.
Yeah. Oh, that was a Rex deal.
These names they gave these guys. No, but I heard the Louisville Slugger on ESPN when they were doing the draft. That was his nickname in college because he was such a hard hitter.
Hey, I heard. Speaking of Rex, I heard Rex the other day killing Sam.
Yeah. What is that about?
I don't know. Killing Sam and talking up Wilson.
Yeah. Well, that's why Rex has a job. You know, like when I hear some of them talking, some of the things they say, I wonder, you know why they're out of coaching? Like here, Tannenbaum said this the other day. Here's another guy who's down on Sam Darnold. He said, and maybe it's because of the media, he said it won't be a healthy environment for Wilson and Sam to be on the same team, but he felt it would be a healthy environment for Sam and any one of the quarterbacks if they fell to the Panthers in 8. Why is that? Toxic is toxic. I don't care. The media
right. Well,
toxic is toxic.
Because the Jets have a reputation for losing locker rooms. That's why.
No. And I get that.
In my opinion.
But toxic is toxic. If it's not good in New York, it's not going to work.
Why is it good in Carolina? Well, the media, the market, blah, blah, blah. The New York media is brutal.
But he didn't even say the reasons why. He just said,
you got to strike while the iron's hot. Well, why should Carolina, but we couldn't? Like, tell them, give me your pros and your cons. This is why you're not a GM anymore.
I don't know.
I don't understand. Like, maybe I'm just naive and I don't get it. But if having 2 young quarterbacks in New York is toxic, why wouldn't it be that way in Carolina?
Like I said, if you kept Sam, you drafted Wilson, sat him behind Sam, let Sam play this year. If he blows it out of the water, Darnold, and he killed it and it was like top of the league, man, what a great situation you got on your hands. Yeah. You can do anything you want. You can either move Sam or you can move Wilson.
Yeah.
Whatever you want to do. Yeah. I mean, you could have, if you kept Sam, and remember, this guy's only 23 years old, Darnold still.
I know.
I mean, it's not like he was 28, 29 going on 30.
No, you're right. I agree. Yeah.
So I mean, there was a reason he was touted when he came out. There was a reason him and Mayfield were at the top of their class. Mm-hmm. I mean, everybody killed Josh Allen. Oh, that's another thing. Rex came out the other day. I always said Josh Allen was going to be.
Yeah, no, I know. But you know what? You take that Josh Allen, good quarterback. I'm not ready to say great, but you see what Buffalo did from the moment he got there up until year 3. Now you see the progression.
Surround him with talent and coach him up.
Yep. You see now the progression with Mayfield. Like everyone's saying, oh, I don't know if Donald's a leader of men. Of course he is. Listen to how some of these players talk about him and the coaches, how they like him, what they have to say about him. Come on.
No, this organization screwed him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely. And 3 different regimes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. The Bulls regime, the Gase regime, and now this regime.
Yeah. Well, we'll say the Douglas because we don't know.
Douglas. Yeah. No. I'm not.
Yeah. No. I know.
I'm putting Saleh in there. No.
I still believe Saleh and LaFleur wanted him. I'd still say they were the ones in his corner in that room when they were debating this. But
because I had heard LaFleur, this was a while ago, say what a perfect fit he was for his system.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I guess we'll know in a couple of weeks again with this draft what we got. There's some good offensive linemen I'm hoping we take a crack at them.
Maybe another wide receiver.
Yeah.
I mean, we need offensive help. I mean, how many years in a row did the Jets go defense?
I don't know.
Which is why I think our offense is the way it has been.
Probably. I still see that Nelson out there from the Steelers. He's a free agent. I don't know why we didn't talk to him. I don't know. Maybe he's a poor character player. I don't know why.
It's not like we don't have any money.
No, we still have some money. Yeah. Do you have anybody you like on the offensive? Penasu's not going to be there. So any other offensive linemen you're looking at? I keep hearing a lot of hype with this Tavon Jenkins from Oklahoma State.
Yes.
I don't know if he'll be there at 23, but I think if he is, we might have to take him.
I think I saw a mock where somebody had him listed for us at 23.
Wow, so if he's there, you got to take him. A lot of people are saying Jalen Mayfield from Michigan, another good guy. From Oklahoma, Creed Humphreys, because he's a center and a guard, so he's versatile.
Right.
Elijah Vera Tucker seems to be building up a lot of draft boards from USC.
Okay. Well, hey, next week I plan on having my own mock draft here.
All right,
so
cool.
I'm gonna put it together this week.
All right, cool. I'll look forward to that.
I figure next Saturday will be a week before, so that'll be perfect.
All right, sounds good. So yeah, then that's what we'll do. You'll put out your draft and we'll discuss.
Yeah, I'll make my mock.
That's fine.
Now, should I do
1.0 or are you gonna do mock 2.0, 3.0, 4.0?
Oh, who the hell knows? See, these guys, I watch these mock drafts, and they start them. You know how early they start them.
Yeah.
And they keep changing. They keep changing. Well, where'd you come up with the first one?
Yeah. Well, we know it's part of the business we got, and they're changed because trades happen. You hear this.
Yeah. Well, that's why wait till the week before, like I'm gonna do and make.
No, exactly. What I'm most worried about is when Joe Douglas comes out and says they're not worried about Zach Wilson's injuries.
The shoulder, I know.
Yeah.
I mean, you're taking a QB who had shoulder surgery.
Yeah. Now I'm hoping, and I know I sound, I know I sound naive. I'm hoping that this is a smokescreen and they take Justin Fields.
Wouldn't that be something? No, actually, I'm hoping that Urban Meyer takes Justin Fields and we take Trevor Lawrence.
I know, but I think we're barking up the wrong.
Yeah, I think it's a done deal.
Yeah. Well, anyway, brother, this was fun again. Always a pleasure.
Yep. Very good. And like I said, everybody, thanks for tuning in this week. And next weekend, I'll be coming up with my mock draft. So I'm looking forward to that.
Okay. What will you call it? Would it be Kevin 1.0? Kevin's Rage Mock Draft 1.0?
Kevin's hostile mock draft.
Good.
Man. All right, brother.
All right. We'll talk. Be good.
You have a good weekend. Have a good weekend, everybody. Jet up. Talk to you later.
All right, brother. Be good.